Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Love for Intuitive Astrology. My name is Michelle and I'm an intuitive astrologer. I combine my knowledge of astrology with my intuition, and this will be reflected in this video. So today I will talk about the upcoming full moon in the sign of Aries that will happen on the 17th of October 2024 at 24 degrees, okay? 24 degrees and 35 minutes. And, I'm going to start with a general description and then I will go to each and every single sign. So stay tuned. I think it's important to listen to the general description to get a deeper understanding of what it means for your sign, okay? So, you've all noticed there's a lot happening in the world, and that has to do with a lot of things, okay? I want to kind of keep it on the positive side because I feel that people need some positivity in their lives as well, and a reminder that, we have to stay in the light. So I did make a meditation because I really want everybody to reconnect with themselves, because it's so easy to stay into fear. And as you know, that's the goal. Because when you create fear, you can control people. And when you're aligned with yourself, you can really make good discernment and good decisions, okay? So it's always good to stay informed. I'm not saying don't stay informed. Stay informed. Inform yourself, do your research, then disconnect and reconnect with the light, because that's really important, okay? So I'm going to talk about this full moon. As you know, I'm always more focused on personal transformation. So this is more about personal transformation than global transformation. But, we do have Pluto in the last degree in Capricorn. And we can see that there is a lot of questioning when it comes to authority. And Pluto is going in the sign of Aquarius for a very long time. So we're closing down a huge chapter. Okay, people starting to question, is the authority that we're having really fair? Is that still working? Is that working for us? Is that working for everyone? Okay, so all the things that we knew, because Capricorn likes conservative stuff, it likes to stay in the old ways, right? With a flair of seriousness. It's also ruled by Saturn. So Saturn is a karmic planet. So when we have Pluto there, look at what needed to be transformed, right? We needed to learn how to take responsibility, because Saturn is all about responsibility. So we had to go through extremes, like letting go of responsibility, party like there's no tomorrow. I'm guilty of that as well. Okay, then take responsibility or maybe be too serious. And we had to find the right way in between. And now there's, a lot of shakiness, because is everything still working, what we're doing? And do we need more futuristic aspects? Like, Aquarius is saying, where do we need more equality? And, we're also going to see some extremes there, right? Like people are going too much in their equality, that we're going to analyze every single aspect. But, the divide and conquer, that is how things stay chaos. So, let us be nice to each other, acceptant of each other, and really just, love each other even though we're different. You don't have to have people in your life to really love them, but you can understand them, have empathy for them, and know that, everybody will find their own way, and what works for you doesn't work for everyone. So let's not try to impose what we know, let's not impose on people. And maybe there's a lot of things we don't know and we can learn from other people. So I always say, let's be open. And, let's not divide and say you, this, and us and them. And especially in the spiritual community with, the ones, the awakened ones and the chosen ones. No, that's ego, people. That's ego. Those people are there to talk to your ego, make you feel special. I'm very sorry to say it, but we're not that special, because we're all equal, okay? We're a soul in a body, doing an experience. And the more you awaken, the more you know that we don't know that much. And we are just here to reconnect with ourselves, reconnect with what we are. So I just wanted to make a little conversation about that, because I see so much pointing fingers and this is wrong and this is right. Everything in integrity, everything with pure intentions, pure thoughts is good. Everything with bad intentions is bad. Okay, so it's not like this belief system is better than this one. You have to believe, you have to really find a way for yourself. Okay, because any bad deed under any bad, you cannot take no responsibility. If you did something bad, take responsibility. Don't shove it off and say, I will be forgiven. No, it's about any religion, any belief system is good with good intention. So there is no, this is right, that is wrong. Everything is right, everything is wrong. But you know what's wrong when you're connected with your heart. So this is so important. And that's what I want to bring into you, because we did have the eclipse in Libra. And as you can see in my previous video, this is about rebalancing injustice. And how do we see what is not right? We're starting to see an imbalance in something. Something is maybe not completely right. So maybe some things need to change. This is not on the global level. This is also on a personal level. So it's really important to connect with yourself, okay, to stay with yourself. And I know some people want to hear about the astrology, but I feel that astrology is a tool to really awaken. And that's how I use astrology. So, if you want to hear about only the mathematical aspects, that this is not your channel, because ultimately astrology is a tool to reconnect with yourself, to rediscover yourself. And I think it's a beautiful tool to help you on your spiritual journey, and to not get stuck and obsessed with laying too many cards or trying to figure something out. You also have to feel and integrate it. And that's anyways, let's talk about the astrology, right? Because we have this moon in Aries. So Aries is a fire sign. This is very about, moving forward, leadership. But we have the moon here. The moon rules Cancer. It's motherly. It's sensitive. And, it's in a fire sign. So there's a bit of a, I don't want to deal with these emotions. However, we have this moon, this full moon, in a conjunction with Chiron, okay? And it's at a good 3 degrees apart, more or less, which is quite close. So you're going to feel it. It's going to bring up old pains, old wounds, especially regarding your authenticity. And if you look around you, you will see more and more starts to come up. What is Chiron doing in Aries? It's bringing up these wounds that are really preventing you from your own leadership, because it rules the first house. It's about your identity, right? This is about who you are. So you're more about discovering who you are, what you want to do. And no matter how weird it is, we have to stop judging ourselves. And I've done it for a long time. I didn't want people to think weird about me, and I was holding back part of myself to really please others. That doesn't make any sense, right? However weird you are, if you're connected with your heart and you have pure intentions, then be who you are, right? Because people say, oh yeah, you can say be who you are and people are going to start doing bad things. But if you're connected with your heart, this is not really, this can't happen, because if you're connected to love, you're going to act from love. But, you can still be weird. You can still be yourself, and don't be too hard on yourself. Okay. So, listen to these pains that are coming up around this full moon. Okay. What is your fear? What is your pain? What are you afraid to see? And what are you afraid to feel? And what is an aspect of yourself that you're hiding from everyone, that maybe is a really, really beautiful quality? Maybe that's exactly what people need. And yeah, people are going to judge you, and they're going to maybe laugh at you. They probably did that behind my back, but who cared? I kept going, and I'm really enjoying every single day. Every single day I'm doing what I love. So sometimes I'm working a lot of hours a day and I'm still energized because I love what I do. and I really want to inspire other people to do the same, right? And it wasn't the most, the highest money road, because literally I came from nothing. I didn't have, divorced parents, not, we didn't have money at all, right? And this huge place, I manifested it. It was literally for rent. So, sometimes there are different ways to get what you want without a lot of money. So I just want to encourage you that sometimes you don't have to, you don't always have to choose a path that's away from yourself and that makes a lot of money, okay? Because I could have stayed in digital marketing, but right now I've decided to, stay in it a little bit because I still enjoy it, but like mainly I'm going more for the retreats and the astrology, right? And I'm telling you this story because I want to encourage you to also be brave and to go after what it is that you want, because what do you have to lose, okay? So we have this full moon in a square with Mars, okay? And Mars is in an opposition with Pluto. It's not in a close opposition with Pluto. It's about 6 degrees apart, but it can still be felt. So there is going to be a lot of anger that needs to be let go. You can see the anger in the weather. You can see the anger in the energies. You can see the anger in so many levels, like people are angry. Allow yourself to feel it, okay? Because Mars is not only anger, it's also passion. And Pluto is transformation. So sometimes we have to feel the anger to let it go. So if you feel anger, if you feel sadness, it's time to let that go. Don't see it as something negative. Sometimes people think that if you're crying or if you're angry, that's negative, but you have to feel it, before you make a huge shift, or when you close a cycle in astrology, right? And I'm checking very often the Mahadashas as well in the Vedic astrology. I can see before people shift that they're going through so much, okay? And I had that myself. I had to go through so much stuff. I almost gave up. I was like, my God, I cannot handle more, okay? So I want to humanize that everybody's going through stuff, right? Everybody has their lessons. It's very normal. And I want to normalize to feel what it is that you're feeling, to not hurt others in the process, but to sit with it. Be uncomfortable with it and then let it go. Because this full moon is gonna bring you a bit of uncomfortable energies, okay? On a good note, we have the sun in a trine with Jupiter. So you're gonna find the wisdom. So maybe you're gonna read some books. You're gonna feel inspired. You're going to socialize with other people, and you're going to really make your own decision according to what you're reading, according to what other people are saying. But you're gonna have a lot of wisdom after all this, okay? Then we have Venus in a trine with Neptune and Mars in a trine with Neptune as well. Okay, this is all about really, you're gonna be in a creative mood, okay? So, when people go through pain or through like anger or something like that, and they create the best books or the best art or the best product. So, find a way for a healthy outlet like creativity, and you can create something really brilliant around this time, okay? Yeah. We have Venus in a sextile with Pluto. So, and Venus in the sign of Scorpio, which is quite intense, right? This feeling of intensity. But yeah, from intensity, you can create, right? From intensity, you can really feel and let go. So whatever it is that you're feeling in your heart, and that's why I felt to do a meditation that's reconnecting with you with your heart, because Venus is in a trine with Neptune, in a sextile with Pluto, and in opposition with Uranus. So it's time to let go of certain things, right? Some are changing your mind about a relationship that you're in, about a path that you're in because you didn't connect with your heart. Now is the time to realign. And before you can go in a new path, you have to let go of the old, right? Like before I was in a in a Jupiter period, right? And I know I do Western astrology, but I look at the Vedic astrology mandashas because it's so interesting. And I changed mine last year, and I went from Jupiter to Saturn. Saturn is supposed to be quite bad, but if you've done a lot of meditation, all these things, it can even be good, right? Saturn doesn't have to be bad as long as you're hardworking, and it changed everything. And, you know, if you're reading with me, I will look into these cycles for you as well. And it will explain to you a lot. It doesn't change the fact that you still have to go through it. But sometimes you need an explanation and it calms you down, right? So there's a lot of healing because the sun is also in an opposition with Chiron. So there's a lot of healing that's going to take place, a lot of changes. Also on a personal level, you're going to change the way you see authority. You're going to stand up for yourself where you have to. It's time to really face the lessons that you've been avoiding. And the more you avoid, the harder it comes after you. So, because the energies are going up. So anything that you're running away from, that is going to chase you even harder. So it's time to face reality or face certain situations. And that's why there is so much chaos as well, because people have to really see what's going on. Sometimes that's very painful. And yeah, I'm gonna have a sip of water. Okay. Yeah, it can be very painful, but it can be very healing. We have Jupiter in a sextile with Chiron as well. So you're gonna get help from Jupiter. You're gonna, so read your self-help books, do something creative during this moon. And don't walk away from your pain. I would say sit in it, no matter how uncomfortable, sit in it, because this is the way to healing. And sometimes you have to do really uncomfortable things and you have to admit very uncomfortable stuff to yourself, right? Like, you know, and I give myself as examples because I've been through it as well. And I feel like if you teach people, you have to do it yourself. Like if you haven't been through it yourself, you can really not teach others. And this is part of Chiron as well. Like the best teachers are people that have gone through a certain trauma as well, because they get you, they know where you come from, but you also have to be strong enough already to be able, to be disconnected enough from that old pain to let others know. Okay. So I'm ready to go through all the signs. So let's start with Aries. I'm gonna get the chart up for Aries. So Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Well, Aries, there's a really big exclamation mark behind your sign, or before, I don't know, because, this full moon is going to be in your first house. And you have been on a path of healing for quite some time, okay? So you've been really questioning, who am I? What am I doing? And you've been on this massive spiritual journey, whatever spiritual means for you, okay? So we have Saturn in the 12th house. So you're breaking down massive, massive, massive karmic cycles. Then this full moon is in your first house in an opposition with the sun, which is in your 7th house. It's in a square with Mars. We kind of have a ground cross, but it's not really in the same sign. And this is really, there is something with your relationship that's going to help you in your job, or something in your job that's going to help you in your relationship, okay? Because we have Mars in the 4th house of your family. This has to do with your home situation. And Pluto is really telling you, like, are you in the right job? Did you really listen to yourself in the years that Pluto was in Capricorn? Did you really see what it is that you need in a job? And some of you maybe have experienced like difficult bosses in the past many years. You had to experience the bad side of authority, the good side of authority, and maybe you became authority yourself, but you had to learn how to do that the right way, right? Because ultimately Pluto wants you to be strong, but have not act from ego. That's the fine midline. And you can see my many videos where I'm specializing in Pluto, because I really lived with it and I've studied it, and I really seen what works best for people with Pluto. with strong Plutos in their chart. So really it's about finding the midway of becoming strong, but also like open-minded and not let yourself be guided by too much ego. So Venus is about to go to your 9th house, still in the 8th house, in an opposition with Uranus. So some of you are going to make an unexpected trip. This could also mean that there might be sudden shifts in your relationship situation, okay? Some of you might suddenly meet someone from the past or reconnect with someone from the past. There might be changes in your relationships. Or some of you definitely are in maybe a bit of a fling, but yeah, is that gonna last? Because Uranus is unexpected and might cut it off. Is that something that you're still interested in as well? Okay. So Jupiter in the 3rd house is really helping you study, read, discover. This is a good time to write a book, write a research papers, and it's in a sextile with Chiron. So now is the time for you, whatever it is that you're writing about, reading about, it's going to be very healing for you. So activist, look at this person, right? I don't like the term light worker anymore because it's so thrown away. But, you know, I like to say person who acts or works from the light. No matter what you do, no matter what you believe, work from the light. And, you know, that's something that you are after. So stress management and speak your truth. So maybe it's time to finally speak your truth. Mercury in the 8th house is really about breaking certain cycles. And maybe you have to talk to a partner, an ex-partner, and you have to stand up for yourself, right? I'm getting stress management. Could be that you're a little stressed about it, but it's time to really let certain things go, or it's time to really speak up and, you know, tell people what it is that you need. And if people agree or not, like sometimes we're afraid to speak up because we are afraid of the consequences. But that is out of your hands, right? If we're not honest with ourselves, how can we expect to have any type of outcome? Like we can like stuff everything in and expect a different outcome, but sometimes we can't control the outcome, right? But at least you're honest with yourself. So anyways, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you, and I hope to see you next time. So let's move on to Taurus. Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. So for you, we have Aries, this Aries full moon in your 12th house. And this is a house of dreams, everything behind the scenes. This is about resting. And you are definitely healing behind the scenes. So you might be doing meditations, working on your subconscious patterns, maybe trying to break past lives, those kind of things. And you're going deep into meditation, and maybe that's not something you're showing on the outside world. Okay, so very important is that you take enough rest, okay? Because maybe there's a lot of work to be done, and it's really important that you rest as well. Literally, some of you are gonna let go of a job, or you've let go of a collaboration in work. It could be that even your health, because we have the South Node in the 6th house, so it's gonna cut off everything that's no longer serving you. So it's time to really work on your health and listen to your body. So if your body needs rest, if your body needs healthy food, this is what you need to do right now. Okay, Pluto is rounding up the 9th house. So a lot of you have really dove really deep into what is spirituality, what languages would I like to learn, what countries I would like to travel to, okay? And if you've traveled, you might have seen some things that really put a mark on your life, that really showed you that life is unpredictable, okay? And this is what Pluto was teaching you. And based on these experiences, you are making up your own mind what spirituality is to you, okay? We have Venus in the 7th house in an opposition with Uranus. So there might be some unexpected changes in your relationships. You might be doing something fun or spontaneous, but this could also be a sudden change or shift in yeah, your relationship itself, whatever that may be, okay? You have Jupiter in the second house, so this is about earning money. And there are gonna be a lot of opportunities for you to earn money, but maybe this makes you feel a bit restless, right? And now it's time to heal your patterns. You can maybe heal your karmic patterns when it comes to money and find ways how to earn more. Earning money is not a bad thing, okay? Earning money is not a bad thing, but it shouldn't become something that you're obsessed about. So sometimes you have to let it go, because literally Jupiter will reward you when you let go and you have faith and you work hard, but you don't have to force it. Higher education. So a lot of you have been looking into different scriptures and really studied a lot of different subjects. And maybe you also look into different ways on how to keep yourself and your body very healthy, right? So whatever has been bothering you in your body has to come out, and it's time for some good rest, okay? And especially around this full moon, it's really important. So that's my message for you, my amazing Taurus. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment below how this resonates with you. And I hope to see you next time. Thank you so much. Let's move on to Gemini. So Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. You are going through this massive healing right now with Jupiter in the first house, being in a sextile with Chiron in the 11th house and this full moon. So a lot of it has to do with your friendships. So you're healing your friendships, or you're healing how you identify with your friends or with your community. Like, did you feel left out? Did you feel like your friends weren't who you thought they were? So there's a lot of healing, and it has to do with how you identify with your community. So you're finding the right groups, and maybe it's time to let go of a certain pain or disappointments from friends. Could be from in the past or people that have disappointed you. And now it's time to let that go. And the Sun is in the 5th house. So this has to do with your creativity and your children. So you want to find a community that is accepting of you, of your creativity, of your hobbies, or you want to match with people who are in the same alignment as you, okay? So it's really important to find a group that is matching that energy. It's also important to check your finances, okay? We have Mars in the 2nd house. It's squaring this full moon, and it's in an opposition with Pluto, rounding up the 8th house, okay? Sorry, I need to have a sip of water. Yeah. Sometimes you talk so much, you need some water. So it's important to check your papers. Also, not to be too open with your friends about financial situations, or do some lend money to friends. Right now it's not a good idea, okay? So pay attention to that. Let me get you a card. Very lovely, Geminis. Recognition, reward for merit. So a lot of you are going to get a reward of all your hard work, because Saturn is in the 10th house and things have been a bit tough for you. Like, you had to work really hard to, get everything done, but you will definitely get some reward there. Money will be coming to you. Look at that. And the good thing is that very soon Jupiter will go into the sign of Cancer, which will be in your 2nd house. So especially if you are Gemini rising, okay, you can expect a lot of money coming in, or more money. Someone will try to make you do something against your will. So make sure, my lovely Gemini, that you are fully behind the thing that you want to do, okay? Like, don't let other people talk you into things that you don't want to do, okay, or they're not aligned with you. You really have to look at your own integrity, because this is really important, because this full moon is gonna, maybe bring up stuff, bring up some wounds, and it's time to heal that, okay? So make sure that you're behind all the things that you're doing, so you don't do anything against your will. I'm getting June. Some of you have your birthday in June. Some of you are going on a holiday in June. Someone you know is undependable and insincere. Ooh, what a negative cards, right? But it's time for you to really realize, right? We are in a world of polarity, so we're gonna have good stuff, bad stuff, and all that things. But sometimes people that you're with don't always have the best intentions. And with Chiron and this full moon, it's time to figure out who has the best intentions for you and who maybe doesn't have that. Okay, so it's time to figure that out. It's time to listen to your intuition. That's my message for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Let's move on to Cancer. So Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We have this full moon in the sign of Aries in your 10th house. So 10th house is about your work situation. It could be that there's a lot of healing that's going to take place, but it could also be a bit painful. Maybe you're feeling a bit unseen, unappreciated. You could have been working so hard for your company and there's just very little rewards. You're going to heal a huge part of that, okay? Also, a lot of you have moved, are moving. You could have moved for a job, okay? And you are kind of trying to settle in, but sometimes, I don't know how to explain it. Sometimes it feels a bit uncomfortable. So make sure to have good rules on where you are living, okay? Because the South Node cuts off stuff sometimes. So it could be that you have to move more often, or maybe you're moving to different locations for a while until you find the right location for you, okay? And when the South Node is going to move into Virgo, you're going to find your more lasting place, okay? Because it's always got to be somewhere. Mars is in the 1st house, so you're going to feel more passionate, you're going to have more energy, but it's in an opposition with Pluto. So whatever you feel, anger or something like this about yourself, maybe the way you've acted with people or in past relationships or the other way around, okay? These subjects will come back and you're gonna be triggered with that, okay? Because this Mars is also in a square with the full moon. So it's time to heal the anger. It's time to listen to your passion and see if you can work with your passion in your job, or if you had to like shove it in to adjust to other people. I'm all about compromise, but sometimes compromising everything is not very good, is it? Okay, let me get you a card. So we have Uranus in the 11th house. So a lot of you Cancers have been attracted to like different type of friends, a little bit out of the box friends, you know, much older, much younger. And, you know, there might be some shifts there in your friendships because it's in an opposition with Venus. Could be because you have a child or you're pregnant and, you know, that's going to shift a bit the friendship that you have. But it can also just be that, or maybe you're dating someone and that could sometimes change friendships, sometimes not, really depends, right? You're a leader. So you are healing your inner leadership in your work. It's time for you to reconnect with your inner leader, activist. I got this with the other signs as well. So a lot of people are reconnecting with their light. I'm so happy to see that because it's time for a lot of people to reconnect with themselves, work, achievement, and success. Okay, so it could be that you've been working really hard towards something and you feel that there was little reward for it. But you know what? This person, this activist knows, I've done this from the light. I've done this from a good heart. And that's always seen, okay? Like everything is recorded in the cloud. I always say the cloud of the sky. So no matter what it is that you've done, like many good things that you've done, it's always stored in the cloud. You have to see it like the internet. So don't be afraid that people don't see it or don't give you the compliments. Like the universe sees it and it's stored there and it will come back to you at the right time, okay? You will be shown the way. Look at that. There's a candle for you. So it's a good time for you to meditate on this day. So you know what next steps to take. Okay, so that's my message for you, my amazing Cancer. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. So let's move on to Leo. Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. So for you, we have this full moon in Aries in your fellow fire sign, okay? And this is in your 9th house. And, you know, especially if you are 24-degree Leo, Sun, Moon, or Rising, you're going to be extra impacted by this full moon. It's in your 9th house. So all the old pains or wounds or current wounds regarded to the world. Who are you in the world? Who do you feel connected to? Your religion, maybe you became atheist, right? It's time for you to heal that. Maybe you don't have to make a choice, or maybe you're making a choice, but anything that you feel doesn't serve you anymore, you're gonna let it go. So it's about belief systems and allowing yourself to heal through maybe different belief systems, okay? Because the 9th house is about figuring out different things. 9th house is way too curious to maybe stick to one thing. It's like, I want to experience different things, and that's okay, you know? Maybe you've been hurt in one of those belief systems, and you're like, I'm never going back there. And like I said at the beginning of the video, that sometimes we think this is all bad and this is all good, but in the end, there's the light, right? Like, it depends on the frequency. It depends on the purity of the person, because we can have a leader in a certain belief system, let's say an astrologer with bad intentions. It's still a negative energy, right? It's still not, still doesn't have good intentions. Like, there's a lot of people who are out there for fame and want to be famous, or on YouTube for fame, you know? And I'm out here on YouTube. People may think that about me, but you know your intention, doesn't matter. But there's a lot of people that are in certain religions or certain belief systems just to get recognition and validation, right? So you have to really feel in yourself who you're gonna follow, because Chiron there in the 9th house is gonna let you discover, like, hey, who's here for good intentions? Who's here for views? Who's here for... Maybe some people are here for views and have good intentions as well. So that's fine. As long as you help many people, you know, and have even a bad influence can be good eventually. So you're just going to have all these different kind of ideas. Jupiter in the 11th house is very lovely though. And you're going to connect with a lot of people that are going to show you the good side of friendships, the good side of networking. You can meet a lot of people that can get you higher up with the work in the workplace. And, you know, that's really healing for you. That's healing your belief in the universe. And that's going to make you heal the Chiron in the 9th house, okay? It's opposing the 3rd house. The sun in the 3rd house, so there could be something related to a study as well, like studying something. It might have been really hard to finish that, or to finish a study, to finish a book. But, you know, maybe in this full moon, it's time to actually go for that and do it. Because Mars in the 12th house, it wants you to rest, so don't take it don't do too much, right? Don't do too much. But also it could be bringing up frustrations and you can't really grasp it yet, where it's coming from. A stubborn, aggressive person, okay? Maybe that's you, I don't know. Maybe you don't want to change something, but it could also be someone you're dealing with that has been very stubborn. We have Mars in the 12th house in an opposition with Pluto in the 6th house. So it could be that maybe someone behind the scenes is not what they show you, okay? Like I said, you're gonna have to figure out who's real and who's not, especially related to coaches and these kind of things, because anyone can coach nowadays. And it's really important to stay neutral with your clients, to do a meditation before. And yeah, I mean, there's a big difference, right? And there are a lot of people out there who do things for validation or for money. So listen to your intuition, my lovely Leos. Keep your life in balance, okay? We just had the eclipses in Libra. And yeah, I feel like It's time to balance. Like some of you are craving routines again, maybe like go running or doing sports and really focusing on your health. So, and then you're rounding up Pluto in the 6th house. So it's good to getting spiritual love. Look at that. You are really figuring out what is spiritual love. You know, once you start to awaken, you know. But, you know, it's not something you can really tell people unless they experience it. So there's so much more out there, but you cannot tell people, right? It's good to teach people how to reach themselves, how to break their karmic cycles. And then slowly, the more you clean up, the more the channel becomes clear, the more you can receive, and the more you will get, you get more creativity, you will get psychic abilities, these things. There's nothing bad about it. It's really just our natural self when we don't have too much like bad stuff in our body anymore, right? When all the layers are gone, we are really spiritual beings. So you will figure that out. But that's something people have to experience. But I know a lot of you Leos are on the spiritual journey. So keep going with that. I'm really proud of you. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you next time. Thank you so much. Let's move on to Virgo. Yeah. Virgo Sun, Moon, and Rising. We have this Aries Full Moon in your 8th house. So 8th house has to do with your money, right? And a lot of you Virgos have spent a lot of money. And, you know, this full moon as well is in a conjunction with Chiron. So there might be some panic about money. Like, do I have enough? How do I make savings? So it's really time to realign yourself with your money and how you want to deal with it, because you usually like to have a balanced income, and maybe lately more went out than you received, and there might be a bit of a panic there. But now it's time to do some healing. And 8th house is also about cycles. It's also about breaking cycles and patterns, right? Vicious circles. So if you do a certain meditation or really trying to find the patterns that are holding you back from earning more money, like maybe you feel unworthy, maybe you feel not good enough, maybe you're spending money to feel better. Okay. And I know that a lot of Virgos, you are really careful with everything, but you know, we can't be perfect all the time. I know Virgos want to be perfect, but sometimes it's difficult. And we don't have to be too hard on ourselves, that we do make a mistake. And I say we because I'm a Virgo myself. And, you know, us Virgos, we can like, it's like a dagger, dagger in your heart. When you make a mistake, it's like, oh, I made a mistake. Oh my God. Like, while other people just walk up and think, okay, whatever. Virgos can think a long time about a certain mistake, okay? Anyways. Jupiter is in your 10th house, so definitely you might have changed your career. There's a lot of opportunities when it comes to your career, so you might be really expanding in that area. Jupiter is in a sextile with Chiron in the 8th house, so the way you see money, you might really change that. And you're going more after, you know, I'm gonna make my own money, but maybe sometimes you know, maybe you have to pay your taxes, so just well, I can't finish my sentence in a good way, but it's good to pay attention to your taxes, your insurances, all these kind of things, okay? And you might even earn money through that, okay? So it's better to have that. Also, this full moon is in a square with Mars in the 11th house, so be aware with friends and money, friends advising you, or maybe they're asking for money, or maybe there's some situation where you have to pay for them. So just be very aware of that maybe now is not the best time, and just split the bill. Go Dutch, right? I'm Dutch, I can say that. And we don't always split the bill. But in some cases, it is the best solution to maintain harmony, right? Which is what we want now with all these Libra eclipses. So let me get you a card, Virgo. All right, marriage and learning experience, okay? So we have Saturn in the 7th house, and it's not really being highlighted right now, but it is a theme that's been going on. So you're really experiencing what it is that you want in love. And you have Pluto rounding up in the 5th house, so What are you accepting in love? You know, what is something that you're looking for? And maybe you have to learn and try different options to really see what it is that suits you. And you're gonna maybe get to come to the conclusion that what you thought you needed is not really what you need, okay? Because sometimes we have a desire, or we think that someone is good for us or a certain type of person, and then it turns out it is a completely different person that fits you better, you know? That's the same with me. Like, even I've been single for a long time, and now I'm with my partner, and he's really amazing, and I feel like we're a really good match. And that was not something I had what I thought would match me, right? I thought someone would be similar to what I'm doing, and we are like, we can learn so much from each other. Sometimes it's nice to be with someone that's more of an opposite, so you can learn from each other, as long as you're with someone that's just as curious as you are, right? So, and then you can work together and really make it work, right? If you're both into growing, you can grow together. So even if you're already in a relationship, because I'm talking about singles, right? It's also about experiencing your relationship and coming closer together by really working hard. Sometimes it requires hard work, because nowadays some people are allergic to hard work, right? And it's like, yeah, but you're lucky. No, I wasn't lucky. I work hard. Really, that's really it. Like, you have to visualize it, manifest it, and then work towards it, right? It's not gonna it's just that when your mind is focused on something, it's gonna you're gonna achieve it faster, because you put all your energy in it, and then you can receive it back. But you know, there are things in astrology that can give you luck overnight, but not everybody has a chart like that, right? Like, some people have to work hard for what they want to achieve, or what they want to reach in life, or what they want to do. And that's okay. Okay. So, unless you have a really good Jupiter in the second house, and, you know, money is easy. But, you know, if you have a difficult aspect with Jupiter, then again, there's something that you have to do. So, like I said, most of the time, and this is the Saturn teacher, it's telling you to work hard, okay? Anyways, that's my message for you, Virgo. Thank you so much for being here. And until next time, let's move on to Libra. I'm going to have a sip of water before I start with you. Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. So for you, we have this full moon at 24 degrees in your 7th house. So in Libra, if you have any planets, so Sun, Moon, and Rising in at 24 degrees, you will be highly impacted. If not, you will still feel this full moon. As in the upcoming years, you know, you will have some more eclipses that are going to highlight your axis. And we just passed this solar eclipse in Libra. So yeah, it's all about your identity, who you are, how you relate to other people, and, you know, relationships. So right now we have the moon in a conjunction with Chiron. So it's going to bring up some old pains regarding to relationships, okay? Do you feel like you couldn't be yourself in a relationship? Because Aries is related to your identity. It's in the 7th house. So if, for example, you are compromising too much, you're going to meet someone that is too selfish. So every time your skills are out of balance, you will attract someone that's equal to that. So if it's that, you will meet someone like that, right? So if you're too giving, you will meet someone who is more selfish. If you're not giving at all, you will meet someone who's too pleasing, and you're going to be bored. So you're going to have to find a way where you give and take. That's your lesson here, to keep the skills in balance, especially in relationships, okay? So it's time to really be your authentic self and heal the past in relationships, the disappointments, the heartbreak, the regrets, anything that's coming up around this day. It's time to let it go. And also we have Pluto at the latest degree in Capricorn. It's going to be ready to go into your 5th house. So you're going to round up this family aspect. and maybe the karmic cycles that you've been through, especially Libra ascendant. You have Capricorn in the 4th house. And if you have Capricorn on the 4th house cusp, you will have a bit of a karmic family line or a colder family. And now it's maybe you had to deal with certain power dynamics in your family. And now it's time to heal that, okay? Especially with the father. But I would say parents, because Capricorn is the father, but it is in the 4th house, which is the mother, okay? So there were some power dynamics that you had to resolve, okay? So usually when you have your 4th house set and balanced, then you can also put your energy into your career, because if your grounding is good, so not just your family, but also your housing situation. So if you had difficult housing situation, right, you're ready to round that up. So it's like, you know, if you moved and things were really difficult, now it's time to find your stability. And a lot of you are going to round up that cycle and have more grounding, so you can put more focus on your career and your job, okay? So a lot of healing in relationships for many of you, and this could come through traveling, because Jupiter is in the 9th house and it's in a sextile with Chiron. Okay, all the cards were flying here. Okay, we have a few here for you, Libra. So first one I have is retreat. So some of you are literally on a retreat. You could be having a break, break with yourself, connecting with yourself, reconnecting with yourself. I'm getting miracle. So miracles can happen when you are in peace, okay? When you are resting, when you are maybe traveling, you are seeing a lot of things that are going to help you. So then I'm getting healing, and you found it. So a lot of you are on the path of healing. Healing your patterns in relationships. So no matter if you're in a relationship yourself, it helps your current relationship if you really heal the past disappointments. And if you're with a partner that's very understanding and willing to listen and all these things, then you can grow together, okay? So there's a lot of healing taking place. You can travel together as well. But yeah, a lot of traveling for you, Libra. That's gonna really bring you closer to yourself, also through your vision of spirituality. And some of you will even become teachers this year. So teach whatever it is, right? Could be teaching languages, yoga, whatever you're into. This is the year that you're gonna teach something, and you're gonna show the world the wisdom that you have gathered, right? Because Gemini in the 9th house is gathering wisdom. So yeah, that's my message for you. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, let's move on to Scorpio. So Scorpio, Sun and Rising. For you, we have this full moon in the sign of Aries in the 6th house. And this has to do with your work. So these are your daily routines, right? So if you're bothered with the routine at work, this wound will come up, okay? So there could be some emotions. Could also be females in the job, female colleagues. It could be old pains or things coming back from past work situations that are coming back to you that need healing. And trust me, I've been in the office. I had some pretty traumatizing things as well that happened that, yeah, sometimes things need healing. Things from the past need healing, okay? And we have the Sun in Libra, which is telling you to balance your routines, healthy eating, healthy food, also your health in general, right? Because all the emotions stored in our body really can impact our health. And it's really important to check with your body, to listen to your body. And that's why the 6th house, which is all about your routines, is connected with the 12th, which is telling you to rest, right? So if you're giving one of the two too much energy, you will see that you either need to rest more, and if you rest too much, you need to move more. So listen to your body here, Scorpio, and listen what it needs, what food it needs. And it's really beautiful because we had a lot of storms, right? Like if you... you know, we had the storm that was going through Europe. We had it here, but it wasn't really huge, but now the sun just came through the window, and it came during your sign. So don't give up for people that are feeling like, you know, you don't see the sunshine anymore. It just came through the window for you. So, you know, take this beautiful moment as after rain, there is sunshine. After storm and chaos, there is sunshine. Okay, so take that however it resonates for you in your life. We have Chiron in the 6th house, in a sextile with Jupiter in the 8th house, okay? So it could be that you're receiving money through different sources like insurance, or it could be an inheritance, or maybe you're investing or having an investing in your work, or you're inventing something related to routines or health, okay? But this is really something that is highlighted right now. Your Pluto is rounding up the 3rd house. So whatever it is that you've been studying or researching, you're going to kind of round up the subject, and you might be doing something with it. Maybe you're going to teach it to others, but finishing this project might be a bit frustrating. So maybe you have to finish something and it's like, why can't I get it done? This is the frustration of the Pluto in the opposition with Mars. Mars is also in a square with the moon and the sun. So in the 12th and the 6th house. So yeah, it could be work related, something you have to finish. Maybe you need to travel somewhere to finish your work. And it's just a little frustrating there. But you know what? Triumphant. You're going to do it. Because Scorpio, you're a sign that doesn't really give up, right? You're putting your claws into something and you're gonna stick to it. Like, you're a sign, you don't give up so easily, right? You're gonna investigate, you're gonna dive deep until you find the answer. So keep in mind that you're gonna get it done, right? I'm getting healing. So it's time to heal your health. It's time to heal your emotions related to your health. So you can ask your body why certain diseases are coming up. There are also a lot of books, right, that can help you with that can really explain things to you. In my own situation, I had heart problems, which was almost fatal. And nobody believed me because I'm young. Why would you get that, right? And in the end, it had to do with me and my boundaries, overgiving, overly pleasing, not feeling seen, not feeling heard. And, you know, this was an imbalance in my heart. I wasn't connected with my heart. I wasn't listening to myself, and I was already pretty far in my spiritual journey, but I was overlooking a major part in my life that I wasn't ready to face. So, you know, no matter where you are in your journey, sometimes we overlook something and we have to be forgiving for not seeing that at the time, because sometimes you're in a pattern so much that it becomes normal and you think that that's something that everybody's experiencing, but you have to really listen to your body and see, you know, what am I willing to accept? What am I gonna say no to? And what am I feeling comfortable with, right? And is this like, would you do this to a person that will, like, would you even do this to another person yourself, right? If the answer is no, why do you do it to yourself? So this is a nice practice to see, like, if this is a healthy situation or not. And this could be like friendships, this could be anything, right? Like, so yeah, it's time for you to heal your body, to become more healthy and become more health conscious. And sometimes you need just more sleep or more rest. So listen to that. And one more card. Sweetness. I love this. Be sweet to yourself. Okay? Be gentle to yourself. Don't be too hard. If you don't get it right in one go, okay, sit down. Sometimes relaxing a day is better because the next day you have more energy, you will finish it quicker. Sometimes you have to surrender. It's better than pushing because it can take much longer, okay? Thank you so much for watching, my amazing Scorpios. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel. And thank you so much. I so appreciate you. And until next time, let's move on to Sagittarius. Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. So for you, we have this full moon as a sign of Aries in your 5th house, and this has to do with your creativity, with your kids. And Aries is about your identity. So are you someone that is doing too much for your kids, or there are situations with your kids that are a bit painful? Maybe they're presenting patterns that you don't want to see in yourself. So there are some woundings that are gonna come up during this time. Okay, especially if you have a daughter, because the moon is the female line. Okay, so you are able to heal a lot through your daughter if you have a child. If not, you can also have a hobby that is really going to help you heal. So some people are creating something, and this is bringing up a lot of ideas and a lot of old patterns. So you're able to break these patterns through working on your hobbies, right? And it's in an opposition with the sun in the 11th house. So you might want to find a community that is equally like you, interested in certain interests, certain hobbies, and certain ways to, to have fun in your spare time. Also, this full moon is in a square with Mars, and Mars is in your 8th house, okay? So, be aware, because 5th house is also romance, okay? So if you decide to do something spicy with someone and you're single, and if you're not single, then especially think about it, because we do have Venus in Scorpio, last degree in your 12th house. So think twice before you do something that maybe you regret later, okay? So yeah, think about it. If you're single, when you meet someone, just make sure that you consent and you don't do it for the other person, because how many people do something that they don't want to do? And I want to say women, but also men. Some men do things they don't want to do, okay? And people judge them so hard, but women can be manipulative and men can be persuasive, okay? So there's things on both sides, right? It's not always a lot of blame goes to men, but I feel like it's both sides that need to listen to their body, learn the lessons, okay? So yeah, what else can I tell you? Yeah, money. Money is important, okay? Not at a good time to lend money to friends. Also be aware with kids. If you lend money to your kids or something like that, just give the money that you have. Don't overgive. And, if they're a bit older, you can maybe discuss that. I want to give you more, but right now we don't have that situation. It's always best to really be open with that, because a lot of kids, especially the new kids now, they're so intelligent and they can really understand what you're saying. Jupiter in the 7th house is bringing in love, so multiple options maybe, and you can choose who's most fitting to you, okay? I always say don't hurt people in the process, but you have to date before you know who's suiting to you. So yeah, do things that you don't regret. And stress management, so a lot of things going on for you, okay? A lot of things at the same time. Family situation might be a bit restrained at the moment. Sweetness and praise. So yeah, it's time to be sweet for yourself. And prayer is a beautiful thing, actually, because when you pray, you're sending out good energy into the world. And if you ask for something, you will receive, right? Ask and you will receive. That's a phrase from the Bible that I really like, because when you are connected with your intuition, you can really ask for things, and you also can receive an answer. Sometimes it's through signs, and sometimes it's through all these things. So I really, some aspects are really good, right? And I feel that we shouldn't restrain ourselves with all these rules, like what is right, what is wrong, because when you simply connect with your heart, you see that there's a lot of beautiful things everywhere, but also you have to make up your own mind and find your own discernment in certain situations, okay? So pause, don't go too fast, don't be too impulsive with certain things, because like I said, there's a lot of karmic situations going on, and you are a fire sign, so you might make a decision that you could regret later. So regarding spending money, regarding love, okay, just be aware, especially if you're a 24-degree Sag, because you will make a trine with this full moon, okay? But there could be a lot of healing there, and you could be really opening up about what real love is for you. So that's a really beautiful thing. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much. Until next time, let's move on to Capricorn. So Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. For you, we have this full moon in the sign of Aries in your 4th house. So this is going to be about family. And there might be some difficult situations regarding family or regarding your home situation or your living situation, okay? And now all these old pains or wounds are coming up, okay? Things that happened that were unfair in your family or in your living situation, or something that make you ungrounded, because the 4th house wants to ground you. And when we have Aries in the 4th house, this is about your identity, right? So what is creating this grounding for you is when you connect with your identity. So when you disconnect from that, you disconnect from your purpose. So for you, Capricorn, it's so important to have this direction and this grounding of who you are. Like, I am this, and then into the outside world, it's gonna be so much easier to bring out this, you know, because the opposite sign is Libra, bring out this Venus, bring out this balance. You can only bring balance to the outside world when your grounding is centered, okay? So that's what you're working on. And it's in a square with Mars, right? There's a bit of a grand cross going on there. Not all in similar signs, but yeah, we have Mars in Cancer, and it's in opposition with Pluto. So it has to do a lot with your identity, right? And you're rounding up who you are. Not rounding it up, but you're gonna go for it. So this will be the last step. Like, it's at 29 degrees. I really gotta stand up for myself. This could be in a relationship. This could be in any situation with your family. You know, this is who I am. This is what I want to do. And this is what I want to let go of in order to feel healed and to feel grounded. Okay, so we'll feel the pain, feel the unfairness that have happened maybe to you, and that's gonna heal a lot of patterns for you, okay? And you could be talking to your friends, because we have Mercury in the 11th house, so your friends might be able to help you with the situation, to heal your grounding, your housing situation, your family situation. Why do you feel ungrounded sometimes, right? Some of you are considering something. Some of you are thinking about something, but you're afraid to say it, you know? But sometimes you already know that that's a wise decision. That's a good decision. But good decisions are not always feeling comfortable, okay? Sometimes it's uncomfortable. It's the hard way, right? Like, I gave up my whole life in Malaga to come here to the north of Spain to rent this beautiful place to start a business, and I gave up everything. I gave up my digital marketing job, everything. And how crazy is that, right? But if your intuition is telling you to do something, follow it. And you know, if it fails, it fails. Who cares? Who cares? What is really failing? Failing is if you didn't try. Failing is if you didn't go after what you really, really want for a long time. And then you always say one day, but why not now? Why not try it now? Why not do it now, right? Because Capricorn, you have these leadership qualities, but sometimes you doubt yourself and you're like, oh yeah, tomorrow maybe I'll do it. But now is the time to listen to your heart, right? And really first heal the grounding. So what is sometimes we're so afraid that we lose the grounding under us if we follow our passion. And what I did was a bit rash, right? But I could always pick up my old business in a way. So, you know, make a plan, because you're a Capricorn, you're an earth sign, make a plan. and follow that plan towards what it is that you want to do, right? You don't have to be reckless. Getting animals. So we have Jupiter in the 6th house, which is a beautiful placement to get a cat, get a dog, get an animal. And, you know, that could be healing you in your grounding as well, because animals are just the most beautiful thing. Like, I really like, oh, my cat is really my biggest love. I don't know what to do without her. Well, that's too much attachment maybe, but I love her so much. And also we just have 2 dogs that run into the property that were abandoned, so we're taking care of them. We don't know if we're going to keep them or not. Maybe there's a beautiful family for them, because it's hard to maintain them with the business because they're they're hunting dogs. So but they're so beautiful and they're really sweet. So we wash them, we really took care of them, and you know, we're gonna see if we can find a place for them with someone else, or if we're gonna keep them. We don't know yet. Anyways, too much about me. Thank you so much for watching, Capricorn. Follow your passion. I know you can do it. Thank you so much for being here. Let's move on to Aquarius. So Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. For you, we have this full moon in Aries in your 3rd house. And this full moon is in a conjunction, as you know, with Chiron. So you're going to have some emotions regarding your communication, okay? So maybe you've had trouble speaking up or speaking your mind, or, you know, yeah, in general, just speaking up. And there could be some regrets. I wish I would have said that, or I wish I would have presented myself more. I wish I communicated more. And now is the time to heal that. And especially in a job right now, because you have Mercury in the 10th house, you can make changes and maybe show more of yourself and show more of your words and your ideas, because maybe you're holding back ideas because you think they're stupid or people are not accepting them, but maybe they're really brilliant ideas, because Aquarius, you are a sign with out of the box ideas. So, you know, they might be a bit forwarding or a bit different, but sometimes they could be life-changing. So why hold them back? We also have, you know, the 3rd house is also about your siblings. So there could be a lot of healing there. Maybe you need to speak with a sibling to really reconnect with them, to talk with them. Maybe you need to speak some truth about how you've experienced things, and you can heal a lot of emotions together. The same with your neighbors, because the 3rd house is your neighbors, but also your transport. So you could literally be healing your transport, right? Like repairing your car, or you're missing an old car or something like that, okay? So there is some healing that needs to take place, or that is going to take place. And you have Mars in a square with this full moon in the 6th house. So it could be that this fear of speaking up is impacting your job, could be impacting your job. So now it's time to stand up for yourself and find the right time to, you know, meditate before. That really helps, because it calms you down. Because especially if you have Pluto very close to your ascendant, that is for people who have, or Sun and Moon, that's especially for early degree Aquarius, okay? Because now we have Pluto in Capricorn, and it's going to move very quickly in November to your sign. So you're rounding up the 12th house. You're rounding up your inner authority and your transformation that has happened internally regarding past lives, but also really psychic abilities and things like that. You could have developed those and really worked on your subconscious patterns, okay? You could have been into hypnosis or things that were really cleaning up your system. And soon you're gonna feel Pluto more, so it's gonna be more outward, so you're gonna feel a bit more explosive, okay? Just make sure that you meditate and then you speak up, and what you say is not stupid, okay? Your ideas are valid, and, you know, give yourself the healing and the compliments. Getting activist. So I got that for a lot of people. So I feel like even though we have so many heavy things happening in the world that I feel is absolutely horrible, it is also time to reconnect with your light, because that's the only way we can raise the frequency on Earth, right? Because that's so important. Retreat. So some of you are going to a retreat, or you're retreating in your home, or you're going on a holiday, because we have, you know, the sun in Libra in your 9th house and this moon in the 3rd house. So you might be going on a trip, and this trip could be very healing. So if you're doing some kind of workshop or something related to healing, that's gonna really help you. Okay, healthful eating. So changing your diet patterns. We do have this full moon in a square with Mars, so don't eat too spicy, or, you know, some foods that you don't handle so well. It's not very wise to do that around this full moon, okay? Because it might come out not so great. Don't compromise. So maybe you've compromised a lot in certain situations, and it's time to, you know, really listen to what it is that you want and what is good for you, and not what is good for other people, right? Like sometimes compromising is good, but not at the cost of yourself. So this is really good to remember, Aquarius. Anyways, that's my message for you. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel. Leave a comment below how this resonates with you, and I see you next time. Thank you so much. Let's move on to Pisces. Pisces, Sun, and Rising. So for you, we have this full moon in Aries at 24 degrees in your 2nd house. And Chiron here has kind of been healing, but also hurting, because Chiron can hurt as well, your self-worth. And your self-worth is related to your money, because money is an energy, and you know how, you know, you put a value to yourself, right? If you go to a job, you say, I'm worth this. Like, where do you base that on? Well, that's what I feel I'm worthy of, right? So it could have been that you undervalued yourself for a little while, and now the cost of undervaluing yourself is getting caught up with you. So now it's time to heal that part and to really see that, yes, you deserve money. Money doesn't have to be evil. Money can help you. And also, it's not, you know, it shouldn't be that money is validating your worth. It should be the other way around. You value yourself, and the money will flow to you, okay? Saturn in your 1st house is bringing a lot of responsibilities, especially now. It's at 13 degrees, so if you have a 13-degree sun, moon, or rising, you're gonna feel a bit heavier. You're going through a karmic cycle where you're letting go of things that no longer serve you, and sometimes you have to go through a difficult cycle to get there. So some people say Saturn is hard, Saturn is difficult, but it's also showing you exactly where you need to go and what it is that you need to do. And there are times for fun, and there are times for some responsibility. And in some places you had to take responsibility and break certain cycles, so you are back on the right track, right? So yeah, there's just a lot happening. And, you know, for you, we have Libra in your 8th house, and it's in a wonderful trine with Jupiter in the 4th. So you might want to sell a house. Just make sure that you don't undervalue the house, okay? That you sell it for a good price. If you buy a house, make sure to make all these good agreements, okay? That's really important. So what we have, don't compromise. So sometimes the first option is not always the best option. So you're gonna have to wait a bit longer before you make a decision, okay? Emotions. So for you, Pisces, your emotions are very key. Right? You're a very intuitive sign, and it's really important to listen what your emotion is telling you. If you feel it's no, and you don't have a rational feeling on why, listen to it, right? Because sometimes something better is coming, okay? I'm not saying gratification, like I'm looking always for something better. No, I'm saying sometimes the better option is the next one, okay? So pause, take a break, listen to your feelings. If you feel it's no, then it's no, and there will be something maybe even better for you, okay? Sign from above. So look at the signs. It's gonna tell you exactly what it is that you need to hear. And maybe you're traveling to see where you want to move, or you want to experience living in a city or living in a different environment, don't make hasty decisions until you're fully set on your choice. And also know that you're worthy of money and you're worthy of earning exactly what it is that suits your heart. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Thank you, Pisces.